This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we talk burpees, playing around with exercises, and Bernie Sanders. In 3, 2, 1. I could see you looking like Bernie Sanders with your mittens there, Daniel.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Dan Meek.
And me, Tom Hall. Let's go up.
Don't have any mittens, unfortunately, but that is definitely how I sit when I'm bored out my fucking brains. So fair play to him.
Like those memes are just all about it. It really tickled me the whole week. It really did. Like people just.
I love how quick people are on it. I just love the speed at which that is all over the internet. I knew more about that happened than I did about anything else at the inauguration.
Yeah.
People were like, "What happened? Did you watch it?" I was like, "No, I just saw Bernie Sanders was sitting there. Like that's all I saw." It was brilliant. Like the power of the internet. It's incredible.
All the best ones I've seen, like him like wrestling was really good. Him in Bird Box in the boat, just sitting quietly at the side. There's loads of Star Wars ones. I've been sent quite a few.
So good.
I'm just like they're so good. If you haven't seen him, where have you been living? And it's just, I don't know why it just really tickled me. I don't know why. I was just, then my friends were like, I really enjoyed this tickling you. Just kept on sending it to me. And I was just like, just looking at him like, lol. It's just an old man with like cold. I love him. Bless him. He's 79 years old. He's got no business sitting out there in the cold. He didn't want to be there.
COVID flying around.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Bless him. Obviously, Biden's in. I mean, is it me or has everything been a bit calmer this week?
Yeah, weird how that happens, isn't it? I don't think. Crazy how one change can impact.
One little change. We haven't really heard a bit of Trump.
I think he's going to be one of those presidents. He just doesn't. He's not going to go around doing stuff. He's just going to stand under the radar. You're never going to hear about anything.
Yeah, it's just like I'm gonna sit in my Oval Office and do my job.
Just what they need. Yeah, just what they need, isn't it? Really.
There's already been like conspiracy things that I've seen. They were like, "This is Obama in his room. Look at the wallpaper. It's stripy. Look at this is Trump in the Oval Office. Look at the wallpaper. It's stripy. This is Biden in the Oval Office. Look at the wallpaper. It's white. He must be in a TV studio." And they're like, it couldn't possibly be that Biden just didn't want the stripy wallpaper, or they redecorated and realized that Biden actually, the first thing he did was, didn't he take out the Diet Coke button that Trump put in? So one of his first things to the Oval Office, because he wanted to redo it, because that's the way he's been spending most of his time, he took out the Diet Coke button that Donald Trump had put in. So every time
he had a button put in to...
Yeah, he had a button for Diet Coke.
What, like dispenser, or someone will bring it to him?
Someone bring it to him, mate. Jesus.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Job. I was just checking, like.
That's essentially probably if you were his chief of staff, like basically the second most important person in the White House, that was probably what you did. Diet Coke, please. Mike Pence.
I don't know what's more stupid. That or giving people £500 to catch coronavirus.
Oh yeah. I don't get that. It's funny, isn't it? Because did you see the thing? It was like fine for having a party, £200. Prize for getting COVID, 500. They're like, I'll be 300.
I think they literally have no clue how like badly this has affected people's finances. If you've lost your job and you're locked down at home and you can't do anything, why would you not go out and try and get it? I'm not being funny, but I just think it's fucking. I give up.
That was such a weird.
I give up.
I hope that doesn't come to fruition. Obviously, they got the hotel thing, which well done. You've
No, but Tom, the fact it was even an idea. It doesn't matter if it comes in or not. The fact that it was an idea is mind blowing to me. It is mind blowing.
It's bonkers.
I just don't understand it. I think they've actually gone crazy with everything, and it's some of the things that I've seen, like, so the worst one, I'm writing an email on this. I started writing it today, so I'm going to send it out next week sometime. And I'm gonna make it nutrition related, obviously, but on the podcast we'll rant about it a little bit. You know how they were saying that the new strain is 30% more deadly?
Yeah.
And the headline was new strain 30% more deadly. And I was like, fucking hell, like, how do they calculate that? Anyway, went into the article, didn't I? Looked at the data. Do you know what they based it off? So basically, with the old strain, if 1,000 60-year-olds got it, 10 of them died. 10 of them died. With a new strain, if 1,000 of them got it at 60-year-olds, 13 got it. Well, hang on a minute, that's 0.3% then, isn't it? That's a point. But because they can use the numbers, the data from 10 to 13, which is a 30% increase, they just didn't then extrapolate that to per 1,000. So it was like, so the second strain is more deadly. And again, like, I've seen it in the news, the scaremongering of it, I've seen it. More deadly, like killer strain, all this sort of shit, right? If you're 60 years old, you have now a 1.3% chance of dying than a 1% chance. I don't know like you, but to me that doesn't sound that deadly. Like, what have we changed the definition of deadly all of a sudden? Oh my god! Like, I couldn't believe it. Anyway, I'm obviously writing an email about how people in nutrition do the same thing with, like, you know, like HIIT training boosts your metabolism 10%. It's like, well, no, it doesn't. It boosts it by a calorie a minute for an hour after you train. Like, that's what it does. But yeah, I couldn't believe that when I saw it. I was like, that is the evil. I say the evil side. That is the awful side of journalism that I hate. I hate it because my mum, like, again, like, oh, the new strain, she's in the southeast in Kent, and she was like, oh, the new strain, like, I can't go outside, I don't want to go outside, all that sort of stuff, it's deadly. And I'm like, what? Like 0.3%. Like, that's not anything. That would not be significant statistically. Wouldn't be. Like,
oh no, far from it. Jesus, imagine us looking through our p-values when we were doing it in uni.
Mad,
like,
mate. And
imagine if somebody came with that. You're like, no, that's no.
I think the media have got. I think they've got a massive role to play. Like we've talked about previously on the show with, like, the Honduras, like the horrors over there. No, didn't hear about it. Because the media control what you want to see to a certain degree. I don't want to sound like a fucking tinfoil hat wearer, but, you know, it's one of those where it's like, it's a bit weird, like you said, because now the news in America is not really that newsworthy now, as it now Trump's not in, so we don't really hear much about it. So it's like, you don't really hear anything. There's probably stuff going on, you just don't hear about it, and it's just makes you realize how much the media control what you see. Scary, man.
It is scary. Anyway, what we got
next? They'll be saying burpees are the best thing for fat loss. That's what they'll be saying.
No, we'll talk about that later. Considering both me and Dan decided to do a post on burpees without we didn't liaise with each other.
Yeah, how weird is that? How weird is that?
We both put it up pretty similar times as well, and it just went,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because it couldn't have been. It couldn't have been that one of us saw the other one because it was planned out, like, ahead of time.
It's just I know. Basically, if anybody wants some social media advice from me, but burpees gets clicks because it's a divisive subject.
I don't see how. They're fucking dreadful.
I don't know. They're fucking annoying. I was just like, really? Why am I getting so many comments? I don't want to reply to these comments on it. I was like, it's not worth my time. I was like, I'm not going to stand here and argue. I will stand here and argue on the show. I'm not going to purposely type anything on my phone about why burpees are so fantastic. All right, mate, it's obviously the third week of our protein bar extravaganza.
Well, I don't want to say protein bar because the bit that I've picked out isn't a protein bar, Tom.
Protein goodies.
Well, no, it's not. This is just low calorie goodies, I think, this one.
Are we going? What? So I think Dan's already gone and selected. Jesus.
I have. I've picked the choco drops.
Basically, Dan clearly wants some Smarties, and So what we got? Hold it up to the camera, Daniel.
Hang on. It is literally a tub of Smarties, isn't it? It's a tub of Smarties.
Drops.
Now, there's no. They don't claim to be high protein, but what they do claim is that they are only 86 calories a tub.
That's pretty good, though.
How much is a normal tub of Smarties? Hang on, no, because I'm not being sucked in by the data without looking at the comparison. Just talked about that.
Hey, Siri.
No, don't ask Siri. Smartie tube
she
calories.
She should be listening on my laptop. She's always says, I can
Oh,
ask
okay, yeah,
Alexa.
no, okay. A tube of Smarties is 174 calories, so I will let them off. That is a good swap.
That is, that's under 50% there. Let's smash
I'm going to take. Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm going to say that's not a bad little swap. That
and
one.
they do look like Smarties. I'll hold them up to the thing. Ooh,
They do.
They look a bit like Smarties, don't they? Bloody hell! You'll see this on the IGTV. Dan just necked a whole handful. That's like you having a shot, mate. Gee. Whilst you chew, mute yourself. I'll talk about the data. What he said: 86 calories, 22 grams. It's literally a tube, like a normal tube size. 4.4 grams of fat, 14.7 grams of carbohydrates. 1.1 gram of protein. So they're not protein. They're just low calorie sweets. Definitely. From distributed by skinnyfood.com. So yeah. Hey Foodies, the smarter choice. 90% less sugar than leading brands, Smarties. Choco drops. Nice. For all those sugar, like, I don't know, phobics out there, 1.4 grams of sugar per tube. I include my mum in that. She sent me some weird stuff, like some Swedish stuff with no sugar. Awful. Some of it, the wafer was good, but the chocolate with no sugar in chocolate, awful. So this is going to be interesting. So Dan, give me your. So you've had a bit.
Well,
have some of these.
They're actually all right. And they kind of, to me, taste like Smarties. Smarties are not the best chocolate in the world. Like Nestle chocolate shit. Let's be honest. The only problem I have at the moment is the fact that they are about £1.20 a tube.
Wow.
Feels a bit expensive. Probably double the price of Smarties. To be fair, usually what you do is for low calorie stuff, you pay double the amount for half the calories. That's usually like a rough way of looking at it. I think if I had a client who was partial to Smarties and they were like, I really love Smarties, I really want them, and they needed some chocolate in their life and they could afford them, I would probably recommend them. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're actually all right. They taste like sweets. Like they don't taste like fake products. It tastes like Smarties do.
Yeah,
it tastes like. What it tastes like is like the do you ever used to get pick and mix from like the Wilkinsons or the cinema, and they always used to do Smarties, but you never really get them because they were shit. But you always get a friend who got them. You're like, why are you buying them? They taste like them. They're not as good as Smarties. They're like a bit of a poorer version, but they're.
Was just a quick side question. Was there always a Wilco next to a cinema? Because I had the exact same thing in Chelmsford. There's a Wilco next to the Odeon, and we always used to go there.
I think they used to there were smart Wilcos. Used to position themselves because they knew people would buy the pick and mix there before going to the cinema, didn't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's one of those. Put it this way: if you put those chocolate drops and you made a batch of cookies and you use these instead of Smarties, no one would know the difference. No one would know.
Basically, if those chocolate drops were in those cookies last week, they'd make them a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, damn right.
So wow, you necked it. That is a positive thing there. He just necked another handful, and you can hear it because it's coming through my headphones. Oh, you mute yourself now. Oh, interesting. They're good. Enjoyed them. Well done, chocolate drops. I wish they did actually have some protein in, really, but just eat a steak. The
only problem with these though. Right. The only problem is its excessive consumption may cause laxative effects. To be careful.
Oh, really? I don't know what kind of constitutes as excessive. Three Smarties?
Well, three tubes probably.
That's also the thing. It's one of these products that when you look at it, and they will never be able to take away the household brand of saying that's a Smartie. No matter what it is, even if you're not a Smartie, never will be a Smartie, but everybody will always say it's a Smartie. One of those things. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a strange thing, like vacuum cleaner and all that kind of stuff. But like them. What on?
Yeah. Hoover. And you mean a Hoover?
Hoover. Exactly.
You mean a Hoover?
All right, mate, moving on. We still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left, and then it's Dan's turn to buy. Woo-hoo. We'll be out of lockdown by the time we finish.
Hopefully, the protein pantry will be open by then. Get some of their protein bars, but they're still closed, I think.
They're still decent though. So I'm sure we'll be able to get some. Other news. Dan did his little Q&A with Luke and your psychic Or you his sidekick? Michael?
I think he's my sidekick, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, brains and
Let's
brawn.
Let's be honest.
You got both brains and brawn, haven't you, mate? Yeah, how was it? All good?
Yeah, it was really good actually. Yeah, it's I think it's one of those things we'll never get bored of talking about that sort of stuff, because to us it all still seems so. I can't believe people ask us about it. You know, about wanting our opinion on things like that. I genuinely get shocked. Yeah, so it's you know it's nice. But it's we could talk. I think we talked for like an hour and a half about stuff.
Oh, wow.
You know, we just went on and on and on like about it. But
I was going to say I'd go on and listen to it, but
nah, I wouldn't bother me. I don't learn anything. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's just a topic that I think I would want to hear about more. What I'm trying to say, basically, when I started out, I'd want to hear what we were saying. Which is we don't have big followings. We don't like worry too much about, you know, anything to do with like social media strategies and like all this sort of stuff. It literally comes from being good at your job and being confident enough on camera to be yourself. Like that is literally it. And I think there's a lot of people who are, the long and short of it was an hour and a half of us basically saying, be yourself, don't give a shit what people think about you, and turn up daily and you'll probably be all right and get good results. That's it. That is it.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
That is literally it.
Advice.
That is, you know, I mean, you know, there you go. Simple as that. Tom, I need you to put your address in the chat box so that I can order these, because Protein Pantry have some available and I'm going to buy them now because.
Oh wow! Live. I'm not going to say my address live on the.
No,
podcast.
put it in the chat box, you moron. I just said that. God, not even I'm that stupid.
Well, I don't know.
Do you know?
This is vigorous audio.
£5 for shipping? Fucking no, maybe not. Nah, maybe not.
£5 for shipping? That's not too bad.
Well, no, but okay. Let me read out. Let me read out the flavors that I've got here. Right, it's just to whet the appetite. Hazelnut cream. That sounds good, doesn't it? Caramazon crunch. I think that's caramel and raisin crunch.
Yeah.
Jaffa cake. Chocolate honeycomb and sea salt. And double chocolate chunk. I mean, if that doesn't get you going, mate, what does? You know what I mean? I've got to do 2 orders as well, haven't I? Because I've got to do yours and then mine. I can't order them all at once, so annoying.
Yeah.
Annoying. I'll order yours first.
It's in the chat. I live at flat 31. There you go.
There you go.
That's all you're getting.
Information. Yeah, that's all you get. Somewhere in the world in a flat 31.
31. There you go. Find it.
Easy as that, mate.
Easy as that. All right. Yeah, and also other news that we're on. I don't know. Well, Dan's getting an invite, but we're on Clubhouse, whatever that may be. Luke Johnson is on it. I'm not too sure what it is. Apparently, it's a new social media.
It's not gonna. By the way, I just want to say now, it's not going to take off. Just my
it probably won't.
Just my opinion.
I have no idea what that is. So just an interesting one. I'll do a more review next week after, I guess, being on it. I have no idea what it is, to be honest. You have to be invited.
It's basically, is it a round table, basically, isn't it? It's like you turn up to a round table at a set time. Correct. I just don't see how that's social media, though. It's like it's.
I don't know. We may eat our words, but I have no idea. I think it's more. I think they're chiming into more as like the LinkedIn crowd. It seems, and
okay.
there's no one more I like speaking to than the LinkedIn crowd.
Oh yeah.
I have about 50, 60 unread messages on LinkedIn.
Any of them from your favorite celebrity on LinkedIn, Tom? Any of them?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe.
Old Mrs. Tickles. Yeah, I love her.
Tickles? You love a tickle. You love being tickled.
Right. Brilliant. Right, we got to talk about burpees.
Burpees, we sure do.
Unfortunately, we have to talk about burpees because it's clickbait.
I still can't believe we both posted about it at the same time. Our hatred for burpees is equal.
Well, there will be. I am going to do a spoof one of those. My drawing thing, Magnadoodle, just for you, Dan. You have to watch out for it. So, yeah, because it was. I remember something you said, and it will come in the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to put it on there. Just. Not to take the piss out of me, but to take the piss out of you. Okay, cool.
Not to take the piss out of you, but to take the piss out of you. Brilliant.
Just to see what happened.
What's that going to be then?
Yeah, so it was interesting that we got I just wrote basically prove me wrong, and nobody's proved me wrong yet. That I put burpees are dumb. Yeah, and then my little
Change
post
your mind.
was, and then change my mind. Nobody changed my mind yet. Most people agreed. There was one that chimed in. I think Joe, if you listen, you just asked if there was any one person I would give it to. And obviously Boyle picks up a point. Like, I get it, jiu-jitsu maybe, or volleyball, something like that. But I don't train anybody in volleyball or anything like that. So I don't really...
Clutching at straws there, though, isn't it? That is clutching at straws, though.
It's clutching at straws. All those like national volleyball people. And again, I don't think they're doing them for like... The point is endless reps, right? Like 10 reps at a time. No, I don't think the volleyball players have to do 10 burpees back to back. They probably do a little burpee, dive in, get up, boom, probably run over to the other side and throw a ball and stuff like that. I get that. Cool. But yeah, that's not the general population. Yeah. That was my post about that. I
think you put it on yours as well. I wish I'd have used the exact quote, to be fair. It's just like they are a PT gives them to you because they don't know what else to do. That's literally it. Like, they give them to you because they can't think of what else to give you. And I think I made that point. Is like, so I basically compared it to low carb and just said, look, it's just lazy. It's like, yeah, it's gonna do a job. It's gonna get you out of breath. It's gonna get you moving. You can class it as cardio, but it's just lazy. It is lazy, really. And
yeah, so
that's the same with low carb. It's just
the quote. Andy Vincent chimed in as well. He's a decent little trainer over in, I think he's in Ibiza now. I quote, he was like using that. If someone programs a burpee, they can't think of anything else to do with your time. Basically,
yeah. That's it, and that's, I think that's what it is. I think it is. I just put, again, we've talked about this loads of times, but I just feel like it's lazy programming. I feel like it's just, there's so many better things you could be doing in that time. And again, if someone is not fit enough that they're doing burpees, they should be doing something else. But if someone's fit enough to do them regularly, they should be doing something else as well. There's no, I don't get this whole like, oh yeah, but if I can do like loads of them in a minute, why not? It's like, well, then you're better than burpees, so go do something that's more athletic. And if you're really struggling to do 3 and getting really out of breath, you're probably not fit enough. So don't worry about it. Just do something else that's going to actually make you stronger rather than just tire you out. Just waste of time.
It just seems to me that the only point of them is to knacker someone out. And you can do that by doing anything. Sorry, I'm eating the Cocoa Drops as we go.
He loves it.
Snacking on them, mate. Getting my cows in.
Loves it.
I don't know, dinner yet as well. I haven't eaten since lunch. So we're recording this like 8:10, and I haven't eaten since about 1 o'clock.
Oh, that's not good, is it? You're going to get hungry.
I will get. I had a cup of tea. It's mainly because I had a call before you as well, before jumping on a call with Dan. So I've been on Zoom for the last like 2-3 hours. Standing up as well. Bloody hell. Standing desk. There's just a very odd thing. I screenshotted one of Ben Bruno's thing. It was like, is there a bad exercise? He did an explanation. So he was like, a lot of trainers get mad when I label an exercise as bad, dumb, or dangerous. To be very clear, here's what I mean by that. I would never recommend that a client do an exercise because, in my opinion, there are better, safer options that provide a similar training effect with less risk of injury. That's all I mean. So I think that kind of says it, because I think, there's just a higher risk when they're done shit. Like, I've seen someone coach them with valgus, and like, so they kind of cave in, so their legs like splay out, so they go down into that position to get up and down a little bit better. I've also seen them coach with a rounded back, kind of under extreme flexion, I would say. There's nothing wrong with rounding your back in flexion. Your spine does that. Okay, there's a movement, and it, in my opinion, probably should be trained and should be loaded at some point, like rounded back glute extensions and stuff like that. I don't mind those, and like kind of little cheeky Jefferson curls and a rounded back deadlift every now and again. It's not too bad, actually. Despite, oh my God, whoa, what's he saying? It's insane. Even though there's musculature for it to happen, it just looks like shit. And if you do it, you might end up having severe DOMs in your erectors. So It's just the case of the risk of injury may be high. I don't know. They just look like absolute dirt. And I don't understand why you're doing them. Like if you want to do, it's like knackering somebody else out for that kind of, let's say, I've heard the argument of plyometric power. It's not plyometric. Simple as, because where's the tendon loading? Immediately you're doing musculoskeletal loading. It's like, it's not happening. It's not plyometric. It's on muscle. Okay. So if you're doing that kind of stuff, why don't you do some accelerations or some wall accelerations or some loading explodes into the wall? That kind of thing is a similar plane, and you're diverting force in a different way and learning how to have a running mechanic or an acceleration mechanic whilst you're doing it, and you're going to be blown just as hard, 1,000%. And they look so much nicer. Those are my go-to if I want somebody to do that. Or like, you probably see me do them every now and again in the gym. I don't really do them much on Instagram. It's like in terms of like quick switches and stuff like that. So if you had your knee in a big running pose and you're in deep flexion, and then you just did a push switch to the other side or a double switch, that's going to get you gas as well. But again, it's teaching good technique, full range of motion, all that kind of stuff. I just don't understand. It's got no side effects. I don't get it.
No, it's also as well from a lot of trainers who like say, oh yeah, your posture's bad, we need to work on your posture, and it's like you just hunched over for the whole time you fucking do a burpee. Just don't. It's just stuff like that. It's just that hypocritical view of it all. It's just, I just don't like. Again, we just don't like them. But I think I just. The CrossFit crowd love them, obviously, because it's fucking CrossFit, innit? And they just love all that shit, chest to the floor and stuff, and it's well done. Like
chest to the floor collapses. Yeah, good.
It's okay for trainers to disagree. It's okay for people to have different methodologies. Again, it's about highlighting and having people who follow you like things that you like. If Ben Bruno doesn't want people following him who like burpees, he doesn't want them following him, much like I don't. So like I posted that. My burpees, and then someone who follows me commented, and they tagged like 5 trainers in and said, "Oh, would you all are certified? What are your thoughts on this?" And it's just like, I don't give a fuck. Number one, and number two, like who cares? Like again, who cares? Like I don't want people to follow me who think burpees are a good exercise and want to do low carb diets. I don't want you here. Like, you're not going to enjoy it here. Go away. Like, and it's that whole thing of being polarizing, but without being like, people think polarizing is being really opinionated and telling people to fuck off and telling people that they're that they need to change things about themselves, whatever. And it's not. It's sometimes just about putting out your your I suppose methodologies and your ways of doing things. I don't want my clients to go on low carb diets. And again, I was very careful the way I worded it. I said people who just put people on low carb diets with no rationale. There's a rationale for it, time and a place. Of course there is. Yeah. But a lot of people just hand it out willy-nilly and just go, right, cut out all your carbs. And again, like people see results, but they don't know why. And it's all that sort of shit. And it's the same thing with burpees. So you get given them for no rationale. If you can give me a valid rationale for doing burpees, I'll probably accept it. I just don't think that there is one. I've never heard one for a good rationale to have it. And again, like using that example, it's like, unless you have something that's better, safer, and going to have more, I suppose, carry over to other things they're doing. I guarantee you, anyone who suggests doing a burpee, I guarantee that you and I on this podcast will be able to come up with a better alternative for that person and a safe one. More than likely. In every scenario except someone who's entering a burpee competition. That's the only time they do it, 'cause it's specificity. Literally.
Well, we had a giggle before the show of little Boyle's analogy, and he was like, the argument of like we need to teach, obviously we need to teach deceleration and the ability, we don't teach the ability to fall, we teach the ability to catch yourself. And he was like, old Betty who falls down, she drops her keys, and he was just like, it's not drop your keys, then bam, burpee, back up again.
Yeah, it's deadlift, isn't it? It's deadlift. It really is, to be honest.
That's not what happening.
RDL.
She's not doing the quickest burpee known to man to get her keys up. Probably drops the keys.
As if someone said that as well. Fucking idiot. As if someone actually said that. That's just, again, that is you're in a position where you know you can't argue it. You know that, and you just clutch in and go, what if that?
But I've heard the deceleration and being able to catch yourself when you fall argument previously, and I've always gone like, what? Like,
well, you don't fall. You don't fall. If you fall, you don't fall with both your feet going backwards behind you and falling, your torso falling directly down in a straight line. You fall with your torso going over your body, and the reason you fall is because you trip because you're off balance. At no point in a burpee are you off balance. At no point are you off balance in a burpee.
The ability to whip your leg through really quickly, with that powerfully, to catch yourself is probably the more beneficial thing to do. So I don't really care. Or just learning to kind of collapse, so you just like, you know how people like belly roll out of a like a car or something, so they don't catch themselves. So instead of being tense or something like that, so you end up being like a crash dummy. That would be the ability to do that. Interesting, to say the least. But mate, burpees are shit, aren't they? I mean, we spent a while over that. What would you say if you saw one programmed? What would be? So obviously both just realize that people probably listen to this podcast. Maybe haven't been listening for a while, but way back when, me and Dan obviously trained together, and we both taught classes. Believe it or not, we did Group X. Also, we had to do, in our jobs in football is dictated by Group X. It's literally a team sport. We have to do group exercise. Not once did I make any of the professional footballers or any of the kids, the academy players, do a burpee. Also, when we used to do TRX, circuit training, all that kind of bull crap within third space, where we were forced to teach those classes against our will, because we had shifts way back when, didn't we? We've been there, done that, done the shifts, done the classes we didn't want to teach, and not once did I program a burpee. What would be something you would program?
I think in my younger day, I may have programmed them as a mistake, obviously. I think for again, in the very early days, it would have been when I was an idiot. Probably recommended low carb as well, to be fair. So there you go. But yeah, like as my time as an in-person PT, I've never given them out. I don't think as an in-person PT. No.
Crazy. The only time I've ever disguised them is they're doing, to make somebody, just to get them up and down quickly, I said it's a burpee press up pull up, because they're doing a pull up and then they're doing a press up. That's it. Yeah. But really, I don't care about the getting up and down. I just want them to, because I want them to do a pull up, then I want them to do 2 push ups, then I want them to do a pull up, then I want them to do 2 push ups.
Well, that's just they have to go through the motion to get from press up to pull up.
I couldn't give a shit how they got up. I wasn't asking to jump up or anything like that. That was literally it. The only plausible explanation. It looked like a burpee, but it wasn't.
Smart man.
Anyway, mate, brings me on to my week. My week? Because I've worked out at least twice in the last 7 days. And that means twice. I've been playing around. I did post one of them, and I think I did actually post both of them. And I thought this is I realized it happens. I think we preached about it. We said about it previously in a gym. Like I would quite happily spend half an hour, 45 minutes kind of working out kind of exercises, not working out particularly, but I would be playing around with stuff. It's that whole trying to do something before you prescribe it. This is relating to the burpee shit as well. I just thought it was a good scenario of it's like kind of self-discovery learning, which is obviously from my teaching background. Self-discovery learning is one of the biggest kind of traits of being able to retain information. It's something like 67 to 70% kind of retention based off self-discovery and teach backs. Hence why most teachers, we ask people to teach it back to the class, or, why don't you find out what's happening there? So it tends to resonate, or you teach it to your partner, please, because it resonates with you. So it was interesting. I thought it was interesting. I was just trying to play around because there's not much you can fucking do at home. And I've got 2 kettlebells and that's about it. But the hamstring slider things that Ben Bruno posted up, I had to give them a try because I'd never, I had a few comments of people going, never even thought about doing the torso instead of, nor would I. I hadn't thought about doing the torso moving instead of, and I've seen the reformer machines that literally happens, but I've never put 2 and 2 together and gone, why don't I just do that on the floor and have myself slide in and my feet being the static point? instead of my feet sliding and my torso being the static point. So if you don't know what I'm getting at, hamstring sliders, normally we teach them with your legs going in and out like a glute bridge position and like that. So instead of that, you have sliders on your torso. So your torso slides back and in using your hamstrings to pull into that position. Daniel, I have strong hamstrings. Fuck me, my friend.
I can imagine, mate. Because not only that, you've got to move a bigger load as well, right? It's just it's a huge difference. Like, but also you've got less load behind you pulling. If that makes sense. So it's both ends of the spectrum have changed. Like I
mean, I was like, well, there's my hamstring exercises. I'm literally going to do them every single session. I think I had a slight because I'd watched Bruno do them, and I feel like he's got a better surface. He's got his slide board from Boyle. Yeah. He's got his slide boards, which are really slidey. I've used them, and it's just like a bit of cloth on that, and then you put a bit of weight on. And like I was using quite a coarse towel on my hardwood floor, and it like I couldn't like hit full flexion.
Would have made a difference.
I'm convinced it made a difference. So I've got to try for a different slider. I don't know if anybody wants to tell me, or you can tell me, Dan, what would be more slidey, and apart from like putting like fairy liquid on the floor pre-workout or whatever.
That's it, mate. Yeah, clean the floor.
Basically, clean the floor. Literally, my housemate was like, "That's the first time you cleaned the floor, mate." I was like, "Brilliant." And then I'm going to post this one up. I think tomorrow, or maybe later today. Was just a little. I was struggling because I feel like at home without any cable machines, there's no like T-spine stuff that you really do. So I this was just playing around with one of my dumbbells, and you adopt what would be a Turkish get-up position. So that's one leg up, one leg down, and that's important because you want a rotation against the grain. If anybody knows, T-spine rotation should be the hip that's in flexion. You should go against that. You shouldn't be going into the open hip because you're just going to fall over and there's not much tension there. So you go against it. And I did that loaded against lying on the floor. It was quite nice. I was playing around with cervical spine positions because I'm that nerdy. And I was like, what happens if I move my cervical spine with it? What happens if I literally go static with it? And then if I just look up? And I was like, I decided a full cervical spine rotation but static with my thorax was good. So loaded, I had 10 kilos, hands up in like a glute bridge position. I've seen them done like with your hands up and then you load in across. So it was interesting, just like in a pal-off position, lying on the floor and then rotate to the side and bring it back up. I quite liked it, Daniel. It's something I'm going to put in for some people's home workouts. But yeah, it just brings me into like critical thinking and being able to that's my rationale. Like, I wanted something to do your thorax. I don't know quite how to load it correctly. This seems safe to me. And I wanted something pal-off pressy but rotatey kind of thing. So it was interesting. I'll post put the post up, trying to explain my rationale because you could see me in the video going with my neck positions. And I was just like trying to play around with it because some of them, it's also looking at it and filming it. Again, we did this on a few podcasts ago. Filming is like absolute key because it was like, does it pass the kind of eye test? Does it look like shit? Yeah. When I didn't move my neck, it looked like absolute toilet. Like my other arm was bending, everything. I was just like, that's not right. That's not what I want to hit. And then when I moved my neck and had my shoulder to follow, it was like, yeah, I can see that's hitting the exact muscle group that I wanted. So yeah, it kind of resonated how much I miss playing around in the gym and just been like, what happens if I do this? What if I do this?
I'm hoping that when I get the sort of home gym sorted out, that will happen with me because I'll have limited equipment, limited space and things. That I'll get that time. I'm like, right, I've got an hour to kill. Let's go in the gym. What can I think about? I want to hit this bit. How can I, because just don't, at the moment I go to gym, I've got an hour, get in, get out and want to go home. And I think having that will, I'll be posting loads more videos, I think, on Instagram and stuff, because I'll just be able, like you said, be able to try it out and go, I'm going to try it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you feel it or whatever. And like you said, there's no right or wrongs with half this stuff. It's just if it's safe and effective for what you need to do it for. And I'm kind of looking forward to that element to it because it will be interesting, I think. With limited equipment, you often have to think a bit more as well.
I feel like I mean, I've got the confidence to try and play around with that crap and try and understand what I'm trying to do. And I'm going to post it up and just see what people think. But for content, like as personal trainers, that'd be gold, right? You're also asking your peers for a review. I do peer reviews for the courses and stuff. It's just like, all right, what do you think about this? I think this, blah, blah, blah. This is my rationale. Do you think this is good? There's probably going to be somebody who's following you. And it's like, oh, that's good interaction, engagement. It's easier kind of thinking about stuff. I think it's all positive because you do it with dieting. Sure, you'd be like, oh, yeah, what if I have my carbs now? Or, oh, that really mixed with like nutrition. You're like, oh, yeah, I really want to put this spice in this curry. You're like, oh, yeah, that might work. And you kind of play around with stuff. Exactly the same with exercise. It's like, what if I load it here? What if I load it there? Maybe if I do that. So it's something I miss. I realized I missed it. And you just kind of like, oh, I've got 45 minutes until my next meeting. All right, I'm just going to have a little play around. I'm done with my workout. I kind of got sidetracked from my workout, if I'm really honest. And I didn't really complete it. I was like, I've got to get my light out, like, so I can film this properly. I was like, my kitchen didn't look very good. I had to hide the bin. I was like, that's not cool. Can't have a bin on it. So kind of craziness, Daniel.
Mate, you've got to get the light out all the time now. You see, that's it. You're a proper influencer now. And you are when you do that.
I've got my ring light. It's got like 3 different lights or like colors of what I deem as white. And lots of different variations. It's lovely, Daniel.
No, there you go.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, Chloe just thinks I'm going to be doing makeup tutorials.
Yeah, that's why you got it secretly, mate. Come on.
Correct. That's what all of the ones on like Amazon that's literally for makeup stuff. That's what they're for, isn't it?
Weird, isn't it? Yeah, that's what they're for, apparently. You can change the old. I feel like you can change the light. The light it makes it blue or orange.
Yeah. I'm on a similar thing. Yeah. I've got mine on like an orangey thing right now.
I don't think my Mac can pick it up very well. It's not very good. My Mac computer.
Small investment. Mine was what, like 40, 50 quid? If that.
Right. Oh, mine's like less than that, 20, 25 quid, I think. Oh.
Jesus. I thought it was going to break if that was the case.
Probably is.
I mean, yeah. Right. Anything happen in the nutrition world, Daniel?
No, not for us. We've just the only thing is just if you're an online coach and you want to join our playbook, we launched that on Friday, which is our mine and Mike sort of like online coaching mentoring, I suppose. So yeah, you get access to our course for life, where we teach you basically how to go from where you are now to being an amazing coach that has great systems and understands how to get amazing results with your clients, and then a little bit of help with social media stuff, and then the 3 months of mentoring in our sort of Slack group alongside it. So we're doing it one more time as it is, again, for like a lot less than it's going to be sold for in the future. So yeah, if you want in on that, you have to join my email list, which is on my Instagram. So go check it out, join the email list, you'll get all the information, and spaces go live on Friday.
Lovely.
That's it, really. That's the only new thing happening this week.
On Friday, my dad is getting his COVID vaccine.
Wow.
He's incredibly excited.
I bet he is.
It'll be fun. I asked him, does he know which one he's getting? He was like, Tom, I don't care. It's like, as long as I get one, doesn't matter to me. So that's going to be fun. I was like, doesn't mean you're safe. Doesn't mean you're safe, Dad. Doesn't mean you can go around hugging and kissing people. You still got to play the game, mate. But yeah, that's something exciting. So we'll report back on. Maybe we'll get him on the show. Ask him to talk about it. We'll talk about his spirit exclusive. It's not so exclusive now. 1/10 of England's already been vaccinated.
About to say, see if he morphs into a zombie overnight. Awkward. Like Shaun of the Dead. It's going to be like Shaun of the Dead, I reckon.
Most likely. Business for me, collective still going strong. Obviously, jump in. Obviously, with that stuff. Don't worry if you've missed webinars, Q&As, blah, blah already. It's still there. It will always be there. As soon as you sign up to the collective, you can watch everything we put up there. There's at least 20, 30 things on there already. And you can sit through them until your heart's content for £5 a month. Easy. So sign up for that. And realize that we also need, because this money has got to go somewhere. if you know of any gyms that are kind of struggling or basically independent gyms, don't just go pure gym. We're not giving money to pure gym. So independent gyms. So we need some applicants for people to take some of the money off us, essentially, by the end of the lockdown, whether it be April or whatever. So if they are worthy of a bit of money to maybe cover their rent or something like that for a month, just to help them out, essentially, which is fair enough. It's better than nothing. If it keeps them going for another couple of months before opening, then that'd be great. So on the page, on the collective page on the website, you can actually click on it to apply as a gym owner. Don't just apply as you're a PT. That's not the thing. Don't be like, oh, I'm a PT. I really fancy some money. Facility owners only. Because we want gyms to go back to, essentially, to be open. All right. Apart from that, I think I'm on a thing. This will go up before that. I'm on a thing this afternoon on a Q&A. Not a Q&A. I'm hosting Mr. Ford. We're talking about some athlete profiling of one of his apps. Looks pretty cool. So I'm honestly going to be learning about it more than anything else. Then we got some more stuff. I think Saturday morning, Mr. Luke will do the Saturday morning shift. I'm not doing that. Screw that. Literally, there's going to be at least 2 to 3 Q&As for the next at least month to 2 months. Okay, of all leaders industry wise. So get on it. Right,
easy.
Wonderful. Enough from us, mate. Thanks for listening, guys, and we will catch you next week.
See you later.